We're here with Michael Myers, the owner of Bosky Feed here in Meridian, Texas. How I got to know you and come over here is you found me on social media about diversified payments and the credit card process. And what made you want to switch from your old system to that?
My old system was just old and dated. You had to manually enter everything into it. It was the fee on it was not enough to cover a lot of the bigger cards that had like the cash back and all that. And so I could still see that we were losing money on transactions when I put all the numbers together in the books. And I kind of started following you on Facebook, I guess before you got into that, and you started advertising that, and it just, I was like, you know what, this works because we fit the mold of what you're trying to do, and so I wanted to get you in and see if you could help with that, and it's been great.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. It's crazy. Like a lot of feed stores you see have the old, dated, equipment or way of doing things, and even you still see feed stores today that don't take credit cards and still write everything down on a piece of paper. And but I also see a lot of those being sold to people like you and people our age. I've talked to several these past couple weeks about switching stuff over, and they're seeing that that's a big movement now that a young person could get into is buying a business that's already established, already cash flowing, because there's so many of the baby boomer generation, they're wanting to retire. They're tired of doing business.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of times they have established a great business, and it's cash flowing, but they don't want to run it anymore. They want a little bit of money from it, or
Right.
if you can take it in and they'll owner finance it to you to where they still get that consistent cash flow and don't have the headache.
And
But
that's,
it's
I always try and push for that owner finance too,
mm-hmm.
because it works out great for them because they don't have to, as far as the capital gains go, they're getting it over a long period of time versus, getting that check from the bank all at once. So
Mm-hmm.
I did this place on owner finance, and it helped me out because I was able to get the terms that I wanted, put less money down, and use my cash flow to fund the feed store.
Right.
And so yeah, and that's, I bought this because the old owners had employee problems. They couldn't get workers. They were in their late 60s, and they're out here slinging feed bags, and because they couldn't get a kid to show up for work. And
Yeah.
I still deal with it too, but not as bad as they did.
Mm-hmm. And I think it makes a big difference. Like when you switch to a newer system, most people are using cards, especially I would imagine here with a lot of the absentee
Oh
owners.
yeah.
You can send that payment link out to them. If they're not, if it's an absentee deal, you can send that payment link to them in Dallas or wherever they're at, and they can pay their bill right there. And then also you're able to save, $500,000 a month, depending on how much volume you're doing, and put that back into the store or put it in your pocket or whatever, however you want to do it.
Yep.
It's a thing that I see a lot of people are looking at, because how much business do you think is credit cards and cards now?
Like I know last month we ran a lot on credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
I would say credit cards are probably close to 50%.
Yeah.
I mean, because we have charge accounts, and so a lot of these absentee people they'll do a charge account for 30 days, and then on the first of the next month we send their invoice out, and they'll either pay with a credit card or they'll send a check. But during that grace period of all that, we have our normal everyday customers, and they're usually credit cards,
Mm-hmm.
and they can tap it. I love that system now. I like how you can email the receipt. That's, like I said, the old system was very, very dated.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to manually put in our transaction fee, and at the process of that, you're wasting time. And I like to streamline everything. When your deal came out, and you just put the card in, and it has two options: cash or credit, and it's already there for you. Now that was handy.
Yeah, I see some of the people I talk to. I mean, they're like 80%
Yeah.
debit and credit cards, and that really cuts into the margins on feed.
Right.
There's
Oh yeah.
there's not a lot of margin
Yep.
there on feed, so it really cuts into that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, we were at the old system. The way it went, we were still losing money on the transactions,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not a great margin. I mean, you might make $1 a bag on some feed, you might make $1.50, and you've got to pay a percentage on a credit card. It's convenient for them to swipe a card, but it's not convenient for me because I'm still losing money on the
Right.
deal.
Do you have any big plans to expand any more? Anything new coming to the feed store?
Yeah, I need more storage space. So we're about to finish add on to this side, add on to that side. I need to put another, if I can, another 1,500 to 2,000 square feet, just so I can store more feed. We're getting in the deer season, so we sell a lot of corn. I mean, we'll probably sell 50 tons of corn every 10 days, and it's the more I can store here, the better, because we're on this like intersection where all the hunters come through, and they just whip in on Saturdays, and it's just we don't run out of corn. So I need more room to put deer feed, put corn. I'd like to maybe in the future look for another location if I can find something that works. There are some other locations around here that shut down, and I feel like there's a market there for a smaller feed store. Nothing as big as what I have here, but just a smaller store to get what they need than bare necessities.
Yeah. What about as far as you looking for opportunities? Are you still looking, or are you pretty
Always.
full?
Always. You've always got, I mean, the worst thing I think you can do is leave your money in the bank. It's not going to make you any money. So if I can invest it in something, whether it's auction equipment or land, real estate. I mean, my big deal right now is land. I just want to invest as much as I can in land, and I've been doing okay at that so far. But I need to get. I want to do more of it, just because they're not making any more of it.
Yeah.
So if I can get what I can get, and I feel like it's a pretty solid investment.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to keep track of you, see what you got going on next.
I'm trying. Grind it out.
Yeah.
So,
well, y'all come check out Bosky Feed here in Meridian if you're around the area. Lots of deer feed, lots of hay. They've got cattle feed, sheep and goat feed, horse feed, whatever you need. Y'all come check them out.